No, I think it just wasn't born. It was born a little bit early.
Oh,
That's what they
not the
mean by that's what they
term.
mean by that. Yeah, not to
Not
term.
the term.
But
Gotcha.
I'm not sure if they thought it was a stillborn or if it was born and died. I didn't
Uh,
really get
yeah, the story seemed kind of
kind of
lacking
sketchy.
in details.
Yeah, it did. It did. So I guess they thought it was dead. So they
Uh-huh.
brought it down to the morgue, and I'm not sure
Which
how.
I mean, come on, that's a tragedy in and of itself. You're like, boom, you're like, oh my gosh, you're having a baby prematurely,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then
usually these days it's not too bad,
it's
depending on how premature it is. It's
right. You can get the appropriate medical attention,
yeah, yeah.
and you can, sometimes they'll have some limitations, but I think most of the time, I think the medical science has done a good job of
Oh yeah, they've had babies survive that were born where, I mean, you couldn't even. I mean, it was just so young that you couldn't believe it would survive. It was.
yeah, which is you got to kind of wonder about abortions. I'm anti-abortion, but continue.
Oh yeah. What? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We don't want to get into the
yeah.
abortion
We'll
thing.
call. We'll want you to call in with your thoughts on abortion.
Yeah,
We'll
that would
take.
be interesting.
No, those calls never.
Yeah, call with the abortion things.
Yeah.
But all right. So the baby's born. We're not sure if it was stillborn or if it was born. It was alive and they thought it died. They're not clear with that. So I want trying to figure out is the baby was down at the morgue. Did they rush this baby down to the morgue? It just seems like they would have known that it was still alive.
Yeah. It
It's
seemed like it
it's
was done pretty quickly.
yeah. It's like they rushed this thing. It's like don't rush it, to ICU. Rush it down to the morgue because the parents, even a dead baby, one that just died or stillborn, I would think the parents are still going to hold it for a while before.
Or like the Rick Santorum took it home, hung out with it.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
I did the Weekends with Bernie thing with the
No, he didn't. Did he?
dude.
Oh
Yeah,
no, no, that guy is messed up.
dude, you didn't hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Oh
I heard all
man.
his kids are really messed up. Like maybe he's got some inbreeding going on or something because his kids are all coming out messed up.
Oh really?
Well, that one's in the hospital now. That's part of why he dropped out. They said, and then the one that died, and then I don't know if the other ones are jacked up or not.
Uh,
I don't know. Probably wanted to say that, but that probably didn't sound right. But nobody listens anyway.
yeah.
Um, but anyway, the parents are gonna hold on to the kid for a little while and look at it and everything. And you'd
Yeah.
think they would have noticed if the thing was dead or alive.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah,
hard. It's
I know.
hard
I
to.
know it's hard, but that's what I mean. A parent is not just gonna say, "Oh, okay, it's dead," and not want to see it, hold it. I mean, even if it's dead, they're still gonna want to hold it.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, please.
So they rush this thing down to the morgue, and the parents decide, let's get one last look before we go. And then this is the interesting part. They said it was down there on a table in the morgue in a coffin, and
Uh-huh.
the mother wanted to find something to pry it open with. So it was like the coffin was sealed up already.
Yeah.
This is very weird. And so then I guess they pried it open, which I didn't think you had to pry. I thought you just pop it open and unscrew it or whatever. I don't know, but so they pried this thing open and they looked at the hands and feet and stuff, and then started crying.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I
That's
mean,
just
that baby was going to be buried alive.
well, he probably would have been
Right.
dead before he was buried. I mean, he probably would have.
Right,
I mean, because
right.
he was still premature, so he was still not in good shape, but he was definitely alive if he was crying. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess he's doing okay now. They get him back up to ICU, and
So, right, so now that's where they set it on fire and cut its head off to ensure that the survival of the human race.
I'm not sure that's what they're gonna do. I'm not sure that's what's gonna happen, but they're uh, they're they're definitely getting it fixed. And then the doctors and I guess doctors and nurses and whoever was involved in this they've all been suspended. I think 4 or 5 of them were suspended.
What?
Yeah, because they put the dead live baby in a morgue. You can't do that. Even
Oh,
even
yeah, I
even
guess.
in Argentina, you can't do that.
Even in South America,
Yeah,
they do have they have,
some semblance of decency and protocol, and
Oh boy.
Dan says little ankle biting zombies.
Exactly. You gotta stomp them out.
I don't know.
They're the most dangerous, man. They are the most dangerous. Because you hesitate. You hesitate before you.
They're like the baby rattlesnakes. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. You hesitate before you smash them in the head with a baseball bat. Because you're like, oh.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
And they bite you.
Baby. Then you're infected. Then you have to. My brother. We have a nephew, and and he bought him one of those Nerf shoot 'em guns, right?
Oh yeah.
Right, with the Nerf.
I have heard all kinds of things about these guns.
Right. Well, my brother, he's like 3. This kid is 3 or 4, and my brother says he holds it up. He holds up one of the Nerf bullets. He says, "Always save one for yourself." I'm looking at him and I'm laughing, and my dad's like shaking his head.
Yeah.
And I mean, my mom and my sister, they don't really get what he's talking about, you know?
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, that's so funny. He says, "Always save one for yourself."
That's a little demented there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
A little kooky. Good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad. Oh, dude, I'm just so glad that baby didn't.
Didn't what?
Oh, obviously, if it got buried, we would have never heard.
I mean, if you think about that, if that one they went down there and because they just happened to pry open the coffin, and how many do you think didn't get found?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Always double check, right?
Always double check. But I mean, how many do you think have been buried alive?
All of them.
All of them.
Remember what Ronald Reagan?
We got a phone call, Lenny.
Trust but verify. Who's calling?
We got a phone call. It's the train people calling in.
Golly, train people.
He's back.
All right.
All right. Ron in Ohio. Welcome.
Yes. Ron, how are you?
Oh, we're doing just great.
Oh. What did you, on this show, did you talk anything about the Titanic?
Oh, we completely missed the 100th anniversary of the Titanic, Lenny.
Yeah.
Totally overlooked it.
I thought.
Yeah, that was something. I found on YouTube where they had the whistle. They blew it like 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. I saw that they blew it, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of cool. But,
hey, was James Cameron originally looking for the Thresher? I thought I heard something about that.
That was, okay, this was it wasn't James Cameron looking for it. He's a movie maker.
Yeah.
No.
But he cruising around on the bottom with the sub now?
Yeah, but he's not the one looking for the... No, it was the guy that found it. I can't think of his name. He was sent out to find the Thresher.
Uh-huh.
No, he was sent out to find the Scorpion. They knew where the Thresher was.
Oh,
the Scorpion. And...
The USS Thresher and the USS Scorpion.
Yes, the submarines. And they didn't want them... they didn't want the Russians or anybody knowing that he was looking for the Scorpion. Robert Ballard, thank you. Robert Ballard's the one that found. He found the Titanic, and he also found the Scorpion.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But his cover story, he got to find the. Oh, if he's going to find the Thresher and the Scorpion, I don't think the Thresher was as hard to find as the Scorpion, but.
Wasn't one of them in the Mariana?
Ask a dumb question. What was the Thresher?
Thresher was a submarine. Thresher was a submarine
a sunken one.
Yeah, it sunk on sea trials.
No. They lost it.
They lost it. It was driving around. They couldn't find it.
They lost it in Tennessee.
Yes, Thresher sank on sea trials shortly after it was built. Now, the Scorpion sank coming back from a deployment. It came out of the Mediterranean into the Atlantic, and it was never heard from again.
Same class of submarine, isn't it? Same design?
No. The Thresher was the newest of the kind. It was a Thresher class, which they renamed the.
That's right. They did rename it.
They didn't want to call it that. And I can't remember what class the Scorpion was. But anyway, the Scorpion sank, and they wanted to find it and figure out what happened to it. But they didn't want the Russians to know where they were looking and everything. So it was a cover story. They sent Ballard out to find it, and the cover story was that he was looking for the Titanic.
Ah, gotcha.
So.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so he got some money to find the Thresher, and that pretty much funded his mission to find the Titanic also.
Oh, okay.
So he...
Yeah, I can remember the night that broke because it was a Sunday night, about 11 o'clock, and I was listening to AM radio, so that shows how old I am. And
we all listen to AM radio, Ron.
They found the Titanic. Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. So now it's just sports talk on there. That's all. So.
Sports talk's no fun.
Yeah, and what's his name? That fat ass Limbaugh.
Yeah.
Is he fat again?
That's about the only thing.
He's always been fat.
But he got skinny.
Well, that was just the drugs did it.
Oh yeah.
He was on the drug.
He's like me. He's always been a fat man in a fat man's body. He's just like me. So.
You paint a vivid picture there, Ron.
Hey, mark what you are, you know.
Right. You got your steam shovel and your overalls and your
So, Ron, you excited about the guests we got coming up this week? You've heard about them, right?
Yeah, I did. I told you what friend told me. There was that ghost on Flight 401. I'll call in and ask about that.
No, that's right. Yeah, you can find out about that. Now, 401 was that the Eastern flight that crashed in the Everglades?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So.
We could do a whole story about that one, Lenny. Boy.
No, I don't know. What is that? What are you talking about?
Oh, this is back in the 70s. An Eastern flight was flying into Florida, and they had their nose gear light didn't come on.
Right.
And so they're trying to get it to come on. They're messing with it and everything, and checking to see if the gear is actually down, and they couldn't figure it out. And they had it in autopilot, but while the pilot was leaning over to look at this light and mess with it, he bumped the stick and knocked it out of autopilot. So the plane basically just slowly drove into the ground, and they had no idea they were going down.
Oh, right.
Yeah, till it happened, yeah. And that was something I found out later with Lockheed. Those L-1011s, they never put a warning on there.
Yeah, there's no altitude warning on there.
Well, and actually, the warning was actually going off in the background, but they were just ignoring it.
Oh, yeah. I thought that's what they're suspecting that happened with this transatlantic flight between Brazil and France. That something similar to that happened, where it gets put on autopilot and you lose radar contact halfway across the Atlantic. There's nobody picks you up at all.
It.
And
I'm not sure.
And then something happened where the plane was flying and just slowly degrading. There was actually it makes when it makes a correction, it was making corrections and it wasn't going up. It would just like go down. You know, and
what I'd heard was they were thinking it was the computer system in Airbus, because the Airbus is mainly computers, and Boeing's are still. They have a lot of computers, but they're not as advanced.
Right.
As Airbus is
more like fly-by-wire.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And from what I heard too, Air France's nickname is Air Chance.
That's not a good.
They don't train their people as well as others.
That's not a good logo to have.
No.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What about Kamala? Are you excited about talking to Kamala, Ron?
Oh man.
Yeah. I'll have some questions. I'll have some questions to ask about about Ghost.
No, Kamala's the wrestler, Ron. Kamala's the wrestler.
What?
Kamala, the wrestler.
Oh, wrestler. Oh, one of the sumo wrestlers.
No, he's a professional wrestler.
Oh,
boy. All right, you stick with the Ghost, Ron. We'll keep you on that one. Probably should stick away from the professional wrestlers.
Yeah, I'll listen to the voices in my head, you know.
Oh yeah.
Well,
so if you have any ghost stories, Ron, call in and.
I have some questions. Yeah.
Questions? Do you have a ghost story for him?
No, I do have a question.
All right.
You know, they say that the ghosts can follow you, and I want to know if that's true or not.
All right, yeah, save that for him. I'm reading his book right now. It's pretty good.
Are you concerned with one following you?
Oh, that's a good question.
You never know. you go somewhere and one of these haunted hotels